Welcome back to Area DMG. I am your host, Philip Wesley, the Mile High Mouth, and today I'm going to talk about something. Just recently on the new 3DS, rather on the 3DS, Girlman, which is a PSP and also Windows game at one point, was ported over to the system. Now, the PSP was actually a pretty good system. Only problem was it was kind of pricey to develop for with the UMD, and they didn't really get the digital shop up and running properly until much later in its life. And except for Monster Hunter, that was the only way it stood a chance. When the Vita came along, the only way Vita is still around has to do with a lot of the independent titles for it, and well, just a lot of the independent titles for it. It did not do anywhere near as well as the 3DS. Now, this particular video is kind of what you would call port begging. In other words, this is my top 10 list of games that I think were fantastic from the PSP lineup and should be ported to the 3DS or the new 3DS. So, let's get down to business. Okay. Think of this as a stacking video from like what we used to do a long time ago with the PSP when we were complaining about it. First up, first game on my list would be Megaman Powered Up. Megaman Powered Up allowed you to make your own Mega Man levels. Now, an interesting one about this game is that it's never been released digitally for the PlayStation Network or their, for their shop here in the United States. It's pretty cool though. You can make your own levels, you could upload your own levels. Think of it as Mega Man Maker. And really, it didn't sell as well as, say, Mega Man X Maverick Hunter, but it was the better title in my opinion. You could also play as any of the 8 bosses, and just like the level creation aspect of it was amazing. This is a game where if they ported this over to the 3DS, they could let you share levels via Street Pass, and that would be amazing. It would also look really good in 3D. So the first one on our list is Mega Man Powered Up. This should at some point be ported to the Nintendo 3DS. Here, you eat that. No, there you go. Anyways, the next one on our list is, I have a bunch of them in my hand here. Next one on our list is Brave Story. Now, this particular game is unavailable on the PlayStation Network store. In fact, it's gone. This one, Brave Story New Traveler, was, a weird little game that Xseed put out over here, and it's actually pretty good. The music's good, the gameplay's good, and it really deserves a second chance. And a good place to put a second chance for it would be to port it to the 3DS. Number 3 on our list. Actually, let me organize this a little bit. That should be my number 1. Anyways, number 3 on my list, and not number 1 on my list, would be Platypus. Now, this particular game from published by Mumbo Jumbo is a claymation style shooter. I just think that shooters look fantastic on the 3DS, especially since there's so many of them on there. I mean, you should check out the 3D Classics Sega shooters that came out, as well as there's one called like Steel. It's on here. I mentioned it before. It's a fantastic shooter, but shooters do really well on the 3DS, and they look great on it. This one has a claymation style to it, which would look perfect on the 3DS in 3D. Okay, moving on a bit. Now, this is a bit of wish fulfillment for me, and it's another Capcom title. This would be Power Stone Anthology. Collection. You know we'd love to play these on 3D. Even one of the Power Stone games would be wonderful on the 3DS. And, it would help revive the series. I know that Capcom had the chance with Mega Man Legends to put that out, and they canceled it on us. Maybe they could make up for it by, put Power Stone on the 3DS. I would love that. Next up on my list is falling on the floor, but still, actually, it would be the Pretty games that, I think, let's see, who are these people again? Like, NIS America? Yes. They have there's two Pretty games. There's Pretty, Can I Really Be the Hero? And then Pretty Dawn of Operation Panties. And both of them, of these little tough arcade games, tough platforming games, should be on the 3DS. Why? Because, hey, this guy is pretty cool. And we're port begging here, so, hey, you know, there was a Disgaea DS game, and the 3DS is pretty good. And there's like, what, 4 or 5 Disgaea games, and a bunch Disgaea Infinite, and the Pretty ones. Why not test the waters with a port of the first Pretty game and see where you go? Seriously, NIS, think about it. Think about it. Next up on my list is, weirdly enough, I'm thinking Tales of the World, Radiant Mythology. Yeah, I love this game. I spent a lot of time on this game on the PSP, and it never got released digitally for the Vita in the United States, and it's actually one of the better spin-offs of the Tales games. I liked it, and I think it should be there. And this is my video where I'm port begging, so yeah, that's one that I think should be on there. Okay, so far we've got 6 up here. We've got Megaman Powered Up, Brave Story New Traveler, Platypus, Power Stone Collection, or any of the Power Stone games for that matter, Pretty, Can I Really Be the Hero? 1 or 2, or maybe an actual Pretty, an original Pretty game would be good. Tales of the World, Radiant Mythology, and then up on our list would be Guitaru Man. Now, Guitaru Man Live came out for the PlayStation Portable, and yeah, I don't know if it did well or not. I'd like to hope it did, because I would really like another Guitaru Man game, especially on the 3DS. Yes, 3D Guitaru Man, think about it. Now, the next one up on our list would have to be, this one's a little controversial in that, like, it would be Popolo Kroy. Now, Popolo Kroy, A Story of Seasons Fairy Tale, did come out, but this one, Popolo Kroy for the PlayStation Portable, which combines aspects of Popolo Kroy 1 and Popolo Kroy 3, Popolo Kroy. This, I'd like to come out over here for the 3DS, because that is a really great RPG series that deserves more views. It deserves more fans. And the easiest way to do it is, hey, after Story of Seasons spin-off came out, why not get the first one over on it? I mean, seriously. They don't even have to update them for 3D, they just need to port them. That would be fantastic. Now, number 2 is more of a vanity thing for me. You see, I really like Riviera the Promised Land. I got this on the Game Boy Advance. I actually bought it multiple times on the Game Boy Advance. We did a review of it, and I gave it like 100% on my old review format. If I were reviewing it today, I'd probably give it somewhere in the 90 percentile anyways. It still would get an A. But yeah, Riviera the Promised Land. I would like to see a port of this that retains the voice acting from the PlayStation Portable game and the upscaling, but eliminates the censorship. Because the version of Riviera the Promised Land that's on the PlayStation Portable is censored compared to the Game Boy Advance version. Still a great game though. It combines a lot of adventure gaming aspects into a strategy RPG plus dating game elements. Pretty good. Now, there are some games that I would like to mention as honorable mentions before I go out here. Star Ocean should be ported. That one's pretty good. And there are a lot of PlayStation Vita indie titles that I think should be ported. In fact, I'm going to show them to you just real quick. In a perfect world, I would be playing Hotline Miami and Hotline Miami 2 on the new Nintendo 3DS. Same with Limbo, Cannibal, Guacamelee, Downwell, Fez, Rogue Legacy, Knit Underground, Hot Boyfriend, which I think would be hilarious, you know, 3D pigeons. Proteus, and Spelunky. Seriously, some of these ones, I don't know why they're not on there. Cannonball. Cannonball is an amazing game. They really need to port it to the new 3DS, and we know with the new 3DS that they'd all work for the most part. I think Knit Underground would look fantastic in 3D. Other notables would be, let's see. I would have to say other notables would be like Thomas Was Alone and Dive Kick. But yeah, somebody needs to port those over there stat, especially considering that a lot of PlayStation Vita indie games have been ported to the new Nintendo 3DS, including Severed and The Binding of Isaac Rebirth. But yeah, back to the PSP. And for our number one title, if you know me, then you know what's coming. And it's not Phantasy Star Portable. No, it's actually Lunar Silver Star Harmony. Or Lunar Silver Star Story. Seriously, Lunar has been ported to quite a few different things. I liked Lunar Legends. I loved Lunar Silver Star Story Complete on the PlayStation 1. I have the Sega CD version, and I even bought the UMD version of this, and I bought it digitally. Silver Star Harmony is a great game, and I would love to have a 3D Lunar game. I know there's a Lunar DS game, but it's not Lunar Silver Star Story, or is it about Dragon Master Dine, or any of my favorite characters? I mean, seriously. Who's got the rights to this anymore? Whoever has it, they should consider porting it to the new 3DS. Come on, do it. Don't you love money? Port Lunar to the 3DS. Ooh. Anyways, this is my list of games for the PSP that I think should be ported to the new 3DS. That would be Megaman Powered Up, Brave Story, New Traveler, Platypus, any of the Power Stone games, any of the Pretty games, Tales of the World Radiant Mythology, or any of the Tales games for that matter, Guitaru Man Lives, or a brand new Guitaru Man, I would love that too. The Popolo Kroy game for the PSP. Seriously, get on it. And Riviera, The Promised Land, and finally, Lunar, Silver Star Story, or Silver Star Harmony, or Lunar Legends. Yeah, all of those. Lunar, come on. It needs to show up on the new 3DS. It really does. Anyways, I'm your host, Philip Wesley, the Mile High Mouth, and today I've been port begging for PSP games on the new 3DS. If there are any PSP games that you think should be on the 3DS, like, I don't know, Dissidia or Final Fantasy Crisis Core, let me know in the comments below. Hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and until the next video comes out, you are now caught up.